Hello, welcome to the astrology forecast for Taurus rising and Taurus ascendant. Thank you for joining me. Are you ready for a good year? Are you ready for a year that is easier and more free-flowing with less resistance than the previous years? Because that is what 2017 is promising us. There are several aspects, which are planetary pictures when the planets come together in different mathematical angles, that are going on. And out of the 13 main ones, Jupiter is involved in 9 of them, and Jupiter is the planet of opportunity. But let's back up and look at an overview for you, because the best way to use this astrology is not only to know what you can expect, but also to know how you can work with these energies so you can create what you want in your life. You might, there's a watch button on the, let's see, it's on the upper left-hand side. When you're looking at the screen, watch later button. And if you click that, then you'll be able to find it again, because there's a lot of information that you can go back to and go, oh, when something comes up, like in February with the eclipses, that it will be right there for you to get. Now, the year begins with Mercury Retrograde. It's not a big deal, okay? It went retrograde on the 19th. We'll go direct on January 8th. It just means that the year can get off to a slower start, or that more people can be taking a few days after that first week after the New Year's before they come back to work and get going. There will be 4 Mercury retrogrades in 2017, including the one that started, that we step into the new year with. Out of these 4, 3 will be going retrograde from earth signs. You're an earth sign. What it means for you is that when the Mercury retrogrades come up, and the times that they're going to be coming up, here, let me get you the dates. It starts, the first one, of course, is December 19th of 2015 to January 8th. April 9th to May 4th. August 12th to September 5th. Then December 3rd to the December 22nd, which will be in a fire sign. So when they come up, it is this collective energy for you, Taurus, to stop and rethink. But rethink what? It's in earth sign, so it's practical, but it's in a side of your chart that is about you. What is it that you want in general? How do you want to take care of yourself? How do you want to present yourself to the world? Especially the one around your birthday time, because then you can just decide you want to go out and buy some new clothes or have a new hairstyle or something. This is how I want to be to the world. This is how I want to look at myself and see. Then it's connected to enjoying life, being able to enjoy life. What do I do that makes my life enjoyable? And then it's connected to your wisdom part. Not it's knowledge. You may decide you want more knowledge, learn something else, but knowledge that brings that higher level wisdom and positive aspects to everything. And then the final one has to do with spiritual wisdom, which is somewhat of a theme that will weave in and out for you, understanding, accessing, exploring spiritual wisdom. We go into February, and boom, we have the eclipses in February. And these eclipse patterns are going to be changing this year. Every 18 months, eclipse patterns change. This is the February, we're on that brink of change. It's changing to you that something will become apparent around your work and your career and your home life. Okay? So the one that it starts off with on February 10th, that can illuminate career. What is it that I want? And something can happen around your job, depending on the rest of your transits in your personal chart. And then February 26th, it's finishing off the last pattern, the last one we had September 1st. And there might be something that comes up from you, reminders like, oh, what was going on in September, that comes back up to be dealt with. This has to do with friendships for you and connections you have with other people through groups and organizations. Now, here's the big deal. That Venus, your ruling planet, will go retrograde this year. It's going retrograde from Aries into Taurus. From Aries back into Pisces, and it will station there or stop at a particular degree where it's very strong. It's at an exaltation, but it's very complicated. Now, this retrograde motion is in a hidden sector of your chart, and it can mean that you have a hidden love. Okay, now it can be a hidden love that's of an affair type, but that's just a very generic meaning. It is about getting in touch with your hidden love. Because we go in this world, I'm kind of like, okay, I got to get this done, this is what's important to me. But what do you love that's hidden? What do you love that's behind you, that's always like a little whisper, but you can't, it's not loud enough to really, or perhaps everything else in your life is so loud and demanding, you can't hear that whisper. So on March 5th, when it goes retrograde until April 15th, listen to that whisper of what is hidden from me that I really love. And is it in any way harming or hurting my overall happiness in life? And if so, what can I do about that? What changes can I make? Now, we also have at that time frame a very strong, it's April 6th. It's while the Venus is retrograde. Saturn will go retrograde, and it's connected with that Venus. So Saturn, Venus, and it's connected with Chiron. Healing yourself about what you want, what you love, what's important to you, and making some tough decisions in order for you to be able to manifest and move forward. Now, let me move forward with all these major aspects, major planetary patterns that are happening this year, that are many of them are Jupiter related. And one that's going on is Jupiter Pluto. That's at the very end of March, and that it's Jupiter square Pluto. And that sounds like really, squares are tough. Squares are confrontational. Yes, but the Jupiter-Pluto confrontation is Jupiter's like, hey, let's get going. Let's make something big. What can I do in my life where I make something big? And for you, it's connected to staying healthy. It's connected to work. And it's connected to where, like, the larger picture of life, of that larger vision that has to do in believing in yourself, and it does also have to do with knowledge. And then as we're shifting forward in May, we have a Saturn harmoniously connected to Uranus trine. It will happen again in November. It happened November 24th, 2015. And by the way, these patterns that weave in and out in 2017, they all started at the end of 2016. So it's like a precursor, a little nudge that, hey, 2017 is coming, and this is what we will be unfolding. The Saturn Uranus trine is wherever you have done your quote-unquote homework in life that had to do with getting rid of feeling indebted or obligated to obligations you no longer wanted, then life becomes a lot freer for you, and you become that sense of being able to move forward and listen to intuition is much easier. Now, some of it can be is that you perhaps have been working to eliminate literal debt in your life, like cars, stuff like that, payments, or you've raised your income so you feel freer that way. So it can be just very specific, mundane. But these sectors are also very intuitive. And it is about listening and trusting your intuition. Now, the other pattern that we have going on with Jupiter is Jupiter with Neptune. Jupiter with Neptune is a very spiritual combination and wants to expand our artistic side, our creative side, and wants to expand compassion. And where it's happening for you, it is connected to friendships. It's connected to understanding and accepting, having compassion for friends. Now, it doesn't mean putting up with people that take advantage of you or don't respect you. It doesn't mean tolerating situations that you know are abusive in any way. But it does mean seeing that as for what it is, having compassion for others, and being able to let them go if necessary, let them on their own path, and move beyond. And this does show it can take some adjustment and adjustment in some way that you think, like your mental belief system. And for some reason, it's also saying that adjustment can be happen because of a work situation. It may be because of people from work or associations that you have because of work. Not always co-workers, but associations that you have because of the world that you've lived in with work. And it could even be if someone introduced you to somebody that you were working with them, they introduced you to somebody, you were dating them and didn't turn out so great. And then you know, okay, it's not for me, but I'm letting it go. Now, when we move into the summertime, okay, there's this retrograde motion that happens with all of the major planets, the Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, all of that. It happens every year. It's to be expected, but it's when the planets have these combinations with other planets that you can see things popping up or issues to be dealt with along in that arena. And in the summertime, in terms of things changing for you or shifting for you, will be when the planets are moving direct. And June 9th is when Jupiter moves direct. It went retrograde in February and then goes direct in June. And that can bring you something that you want around work. Now remember, you have these eclipse patterns. The next set of eclipse is in August. And by that time, the nodes, will have switched from where they've been is in Virgo. The North Node Virgo is like, okay, get your health together. What about work? Is shifting into Leo. And that is about following your heart and understanding that the heart itself has a brain. And to remember that there's a place for fun and enjoyment. And on a collective level, you could find people deciding they really want to have, gatherings together, have more meet for dinner, go out to a club, just have more parties, celebrate. It's a sign of celebrating the little things in life that make life special. And the August 7th eclipse, lunar eclipse, the August 21st solar eclipse, those can be the times where it's lighting up the balance that you may find if you've gotten out of balance between putting effort into work versus putting effort into your emotional life, your home life, to bring it back into balance. In August, we also have another major connection aspect between two planets, and that is between the planet Uranus and Neptune. All aspects, just like the new moon is a new cycle, all these what's called aspects, these combinations, mathematical angles with planets, they all go back to the point when they were together. Just like the new moon, full moon, right? It's full, it's conjunct together, then it moves to full. And the aspects of the Uranus-Neptune, that time frame actually went all the way back to 1993. You may or may not remember it. You may or may not even have been born. But where that energy happened in your chart, like what it's referring back to, is whether or not you feel that you know enough in life, that you have a positive enough viewpoint in life, attitude, your own philosophical maxims that you can live by that uplift you. And in August, there's a breaking free. The energy is breaking free from anywhere in your life where you may have felt that you were held back from circumstances, that you're almost like, it's not my fault, right? It's not my fault. I went to school, but I couldn't get a job, so I had to live with a whole bunch of other people. I had to live with my parents. I had to do this. And it's not, I really want to be out on my own. I want to be able to move someplace. I want to be able to do something different. But something where you might have felt in your life that because of something that felt like it's not my fault, right? That you get to break free from that. And that begins in August, this breaking free energy from any place in your life where you may have felt that because of circumstances that you could not change or control, that helped you, that kept you trapped in a situation. So through the rest of the year, there's this mass movement of moving forward. And we'll probably see it globally with some refugees, because it has, on a global level, has some refugees connections. And then as we're moving towards the end of the year, and Jupiter goes into Scorpio. So Jupiter is going to go into Scorpio and will be there in October, November, December. And it's shifting opposite your sign, which is a positive influence, okay, because it reflects back to your sun. And it will bring you the opportunity to make more connections with people, all kinds of connections, romantic, professional, just, neighbors, just all kinds of connections, even though 7th house rules other people, not necessarily neighborhood, but other people. And so there's that sense of expanding your connections in the world, and in a way that feels good for you, in a way that feels appropriate. And as we move towards the end of the year, November 11th is that other Saturn harmonious energy with Uranus, which is, I put the effort in, now I have my freedom, okay, of that movement. So where is it that I want movement in my life? We have this 2017 is the year of movement. 2017 is the year to push forward and make something big happen that you want. 2017 is a year to concentrate on how you want to present yourself to the world, bringing in the things that you love to do, expanding your world vision in a positive way. It even can be deciding you want to travel more, and if you want to make some changes in your career, that energy for change is there. Yes, the relationship part is a little bit tricky because it may represent letting go with compassion of that which you doesn't work for you anymore, but also getting back in touch with that which is hidden from you or has been hidden from you, that you really love, that is really important to you. And then as we end to the very end of the year, Saturn will be going into Capricorn. So this is the last year that Saturn's in Sagittarius. I talked a little bit deeper about it in the December horoscopes. And Saturn, when Saturn goes into Capricorn on the 21st, and it will be there for 2.5 years. Okay? It's completely new energy. It's earth sign to earth sign, so that's pretty harmonious for you. That it on the 22nd, it is making a connection with Saturn, and it's called the balsamic phase. So the releasing phase. Think of the new moon to new moon. We go new, full, the quarters and all. The phase right before the new moon, the dark moon, is a phase of releasing. Well, all the planets, they go through the same phases, and we're at the very end of the year. We're at this phase of releasing what a cycle that we've been working in on a global level, working in since 2000, and getting ready for a new cycle in 2020, which will be a big deal because there's going to be Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter all together. It will be a big deal. So this year, 2017, has some fabulous energy to move ahead without a lot of resistance. And, of course, there's always going to be some challenge, and especially for your personal chart, there might be something going on. But in general, click that watch later button so you can refer back to this when needed, and to remind yourself that, okay, these are the areas of my life where the universe will be supporting me to be able to create and accomplish that which is, and have that which is near and dear to my heart. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, and have a very happy and prosperous New Year.